Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 53 of the Welcome View the Wrestling Podcast. I'm your host, Ethan Black. Today, we're going to talk about the shows from Monday, July 17th through Thursday, July 20th. So, we'll just get right into it. So, we'll kick it off with DDT Pro Wrestling's show, Cosby Pro Wrestling. So, opening match, we had six-man tag team. Actually, at Burnings Universal Champion Tuesday, Endo, Yasuki Okada, and Yu Koryoko defeat Hideki Okatani, Tokajima, and Kazuma Sumi via moonsault, 12 minutes and 18 seconds. Tag team match with Disaster Box, Extreme Champion Kazuya Hayara and Harashima versus Paramount Yuki Ino and Suzuki Dino. And in a no contest, 11 minutes and 50 seconds. In the main event, six-man tag team match, we had the 2023 King of DT winner Chris Brooks, Akiko, and Shinhiro Kawamatsu defeating six-man tag champs Harumo, Katsushika Kachara Haiguchi, and Yuki Ishida team with the over 40 team Mahiko Oshi via Sky Tree Braum, 12 minutes and 4 seconds. So then we go to night 7 of Dragon Gate's King of Gate tour. So we kick off with tag team match with gold classes, Open the Triangle Gate Champ Meteor and BB Hulk defeating Kung Fu Masters, Jackie Fun Kamei and Jason Lee via Victor Meteor on Kamei, 9 minutes and 19 seconds. 8-man tag team match, we Open the Twin Gate Champ Shimoshi Mochizuki, Open the Triangle Gate Champ Runaki Doi, Cage Adore and Dragon Kid defeat Ultimate Dragon, Yamala, Shahiko Boy, and Ducky and Iguchi via Jumbo wins, 11 minutes and 36 seconds. And then our final second round match of 2023 King of Gate. The first one, Open the Triangle Gate Champ Kota Minoru defeating Punch Tominaga for Golden Rose, 3 minutes and 34 seconds. He will face Yuki Yoshioka in the quarterfinals. Six-man tag match with Hayo, Kai, and Shun Skywalker of Seabrat. Defeating M3K's Open the Twin Gate Champ Yatsushi Kanda, Misaki Mochizuki, and Mochizuki Jr. via Nico Tamahashi, 9 minutes and 46 seconds. And our final second round match of the King of Gate tournament, Shuji Kano defeat Open the Brave Gate champion Ishin via Flying Crucifix, 10 minutes and 53 seconds. He will face the Open the Dream Gate champ Madoka Kita in the quarterfinals. In the main event, six-man tag team match, we had D Courage, Open the Dream Gate champ Madoka Kita, Yuki Yoshioka, and Dragondia defeating Kazi, Big Boss Shimoju, and UT of Natural Vibes via Infernal, 15 minutes and 15 seconds. So quarterfinals is going to be July 22nd, 23rd, and 29th. So on July 22nd, we have Big Boss Shimoju first Open the Twin Gate Champ Shimoju Mochizuki, and Sushi Kano first Open the Dream Gate Champ Madoka Kitayuta. Excuse me. And on 23rd, we have Open the Triangle Gate Champ Kota Minoru versus Yuki Yoshioka. And on July 29th, we have Dragon Dia versus Hayo. So that is Dragon Gate. Then we go to Stardom's Summer North Tour Night 4. So we had Sai Ito defeat Yuen Misamore via Ida Bashi, 6 minutes and 50 seconds. Momo Watanabe defeat Hanago via B Dropper in 6 minutes. Tag team match, we had FWC, Hatsuki, and Koguma defeat Queen Quest, Lacey, and Mayu Amasaki via Dive in Body Press, 10 minutes and 34 seconds. 6-1 tag team match with Club Phoenix, Scott Star, and Champions Marame, Mayor Shikawa, Team Waka, Tetsuyama defeat Maika, Suzuki, May, Seraphic, Glamorous Driver, Mina, on 14 minutes, 17 seconds. Non-title match, Other Star Jace Barbie Bali Bombers, Julia Tekla May Sakura defeating stars IWGP Women's Champion Maya Otani, Hina and Mobile Congo via Glorious Driver, 10 minutes and 57 seconds. Tag team match, World Star Champion Tam Nakama and Natsupoi, that is Meltier, versus Kamatani Azumi of Queen's Quest ends in a 15-minute time limit draw. In the main event, 6-1 tag team match with guys, Wonder Star Champion Mirai, High Speed Champion Saki Kashima and Amy Sori, defeating New Blood Tag Champion Starlight K, Ruka and Natsuhiko Tora of Oetai, via My Emblem, 10 minutes and 24 seconds. So Stardom. And then we go to Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling's Tokyo Princess Cup Night 3. So we had Suzume defeating Haru Katasawa via Misoki Meteor Shower, 6 minutes and 14 seconds. Tag team match with Raccoon Palm Harajuku defeating Hyper Masawa and Shino Suzuki via Dr. Yellow, 9.5 minutes. 6-1 tag team match with Prince President Masuki, Maharu Koroku, and Yuraniko defeat Azuri Endo, Hamurai, and Rhea Hokubo via Facelock, 11 minutes and 4 seconds. 8-1 tag team match with Mayu Yamashita, Shoko Nakajima, Waka Yuhira, and Toga defeating International Princess Shame Raka Tatsumi, Hikari Noah, Mako Mamato, and Katora Bounty via Attitude Adjustment, 13 minutes and 29 seconds. And then more first round matches of the Tokyo Princess Cup. First one, Yuka Kamafuku defeating Nayo Kayuta via Famouser, 9 minutes and 56 seconds. And the other first round match, Mayu Watanabe defeating Yuki Ino via Teardrop, 15 minutes and 10 seconds. She will face Kamafuku in the quarterfinals. So Tokyo Joshi. Now we'll move over to WWE's Monday Night Raw, live from Atlanta, Georgia at the State Farm Arena. So we kick it off with the hometown boy. Cody Rhodes makes way down the ring, and he asks Atlanta what they want to talk about. They don't really have to talk because there's one shadow looming over every arena WWE goes to. That is Brock Lesnar. He's just one thing for sure. So when Lesnar shows up, when he called the ring, he tells Lesnar that he should just do it right now. Lesnar's music hits, but he doesn't appear. So Cody says Lesnar is supposed to be here. He asks if Lesnar plans to be fast when late, but he'll be in the ring when, no matter what time he shows up. Then he gives a shout out to his mother in the front row and says she was the one who made him into the fighter he is today. He says relationship with Lesnar can be summoned two words, hard times. Cody says it won't be hard times when Lesnar shows up. As Rhodes goes over to Greaves' family, we hear the music of Lesnar again. So he gets him. So Cody gets ready to fight him, but Lesnar does appear, hits again, but doesn't even chase. Before he has a chance to even come out, Cody runs to the back, wastes no time. Then also we see a chair getting thrown onto the stage. Brock Lesnar starts attacking Cody with it, sends him the ring apron and it into the ring post, and it hits outside, hits him with an F5 on the floor. I don't know where I was going with the F5 of his family. Then Lesnar locks in the Kimura lock, but decides to let go of it, throws him in the ring, and then locks it again before he lets go and tells him he's seeing him at SummerSlam before heading to the back. So we've got our first official match for SummerSlam, which I'll talk about at the end of this review. So opening contest, non-title match, Intercontinental Champion Gunther goes well with Matt Riddle. Giovanni Vinci and Ludwig Kaiser are banned from ringside. So Matt starts with a log for Gunther, hits a pair of chops to Riddle in the corner, then locks a sleeper hope. Riddle quickly escapes and locks an armbar, but Gunther cowers in the roll for a 2 count, and then Riddle sends Gunther to the outside. He looks to go flying up the ring steps, but Gunther catches him with a mid-air chop, and then body slams him on the floor as we go to commercial break. And then when we come back from break, Riddle fires off chops on Gunther before Gunther responds one of his own as they go back and forth. And then Riddle gains the upper hand, hits a kick to the head. Gunther falls with a pair of forearms, hits Explorer, and kick to the spine. Gunther comes back with a German suplex. And then Riddle lands pair of ripcord knees, climbs the top, looks to hit floating bro. Gunther gets his knees up and draw kick, and then the powerbomb to score the victory at 8 minutes and 13 seconds. Really fun opening match. I just won 7 out of 10. Honestly, the other two matches, I like the Money in the Bank one a little bit more, but this one was really good as well. I was actually a little surprised this went only 8 minutes, like TV time. I thought this went a little longer, but oh well. After the match, Gunther hops on the announce table, grabs a microphone. He says tonight is the greatest night of the universe because everyone came to see the greatest Intercontinental Champion of all time. He says Riddle is done and he's building a legacy. He says Drew McIntyre wants to ride his coattails. He's welcome to, but he will eventually fall victim to him. And then we go backstage. We see a confrontation between Women's World Champion Rhea Ripley and the Women's Tag Champs Raquel Rodriguez and Liv Morgan. So originally they were getting interviewed by Jackie Redmond, but Rhea shows up and tells Redmond to leave. And then Liv says they're not scared. So Rhea headbutts Liv right in the jaw, and then Raquel and Rhea brawl before Rhea kicks Raquel right in the knee. And speaking of Judgment, I mean, Rhea must have to sprint to the gorilla position pretty quick because Judgment Day was the next segment. They come down to the ring, and Ripley says Judgment Day is stronger than ever. And as everyone really thought they would break up, she says now no one can stop them. And not only do they run Raw, but they dominate the show. She says Raquel Rodriguez found that out earlier, calls herself the most dominant women's champion in history. She's not only Finn Balor and Damien Priest become world champions, but Dominic will become the NXT North American champion tomorrow on NXT, which I'll talk about when we get to the NXT portion. Priest is despite holding the Money in the Bank briefcase. Balor gets first crack at Seth Rollins' World Heavyweight title. Balor puts him on the nose and tells him he will dethrone him. Then we hear the music of Sami Zayn and the tag champs Zayn and Owens come out to the stage. Sami says he feels like a pretty good relationship with the WWE Universe and knows what they both like and dislike. He asks Atlanta if they pay to hear Dominic talk, and they boo him. Then he asks if he pays someone to beat him up, and the crowd cheers. He says Atlanta is in luck, and so are himself and Owens because they got a chance to get their hands on Dominic later in the show. And their tag team match against him and Priest. So Priest challenged them to put their tag titles on the line in the main, and Sami asks Owens for his opinion, and Kevin Owens agrees to do so. He gets a punch, basically get his hands on both Priest and Mysterio to close out that segment. Then we go backstage to the trainer's room. We see Raquel being checked on in the medical office, as Liv Morgan and Pierce is too. Raquel says she's fit to compete in the women's tag title match, so Pierce allows so. So we go to that match now. Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez defend the women's tag team titles to Sonya Deville and Chelsea Green. DeVille wastes no time as she hits a kick and takes in Green. Green and DeVille hit double vertical suplex before Green hits lip to the middle turnbuckle, takes DeVille back in. Excuse me. DeVille fires a right hand in a corner, but Morgan fights back and hits a kick. Raquel tags in and levels DeVille, sends her face first in the corner as she plants over the fallaway slam, but DeVille sends her crashing into the ring post, shoulder first, and locks to the half Boston crab, but Morgan breaks up the hold. Raquel tags her in as well as DeVille tagging in Green. Liv catches with a pair of short tackles, step up knee, and a cold breaker off the middle rope, falls with an Oblivion, goes for the cover, but DeVille breaks up with a nice looking knee. So DeVille pulls Raquel off the apron, hits a chop block, then rakes Morgan's eyes, allowing Green to hit the unprettier for a 2 count. DeVille tags in Green, hits the second unprettier, and DeVille falls with a running knee to win the women's tag team titles at 5 minutes and 23 seconds. Not a bad match. I just won 5 out of 10. I kind of wish they stopped Papa Tan the tag team titles, but finally DeVille wins a title after being there like 8 years. I think she said it's been a long time she's been in WWE, but honestly, I'm glad she's actually won some title. But now good things for Coca go after the women's world title without the tag title. And after break, we head to a reveal in the next chapter of the Civil War of the Bloodline, this past Friday on SmackDown. Then we get a hit to a video of Barnes Saxon with the world champion Seth Rollins. Barnes asks Rollins what his plans are for the world heavyweight title, and no better place for marquee title match in SummerSlam. He says several men have earned his place on his short list, including Finn Balor, Dean Priest, Drew McIntyre, and Gunther. And then speaking of Balor, he walks in and takes Saxon's seat before demanding a rematch at SummerSlam. He says the line starts with him and the issues are far from over. Then he tells him to do what he has to do and make things official. Rollins tells Balor he's still living in the past, and Balor says he's living in chaos. He promises to get his retribution due to Rollins what he did to him. Rollins tells Balor that his tale is more than personal vendetta against him. He said things could deal with him right here, right now, tells him to take a shot or leave. Balor stands up, off the walk away, then suddenly he throws a chair at Rollins and it rains the right hands, and it tells him to make the match official. Spoiler, the match is official, but I'll talk about the SummerSlam stuff in a bit. Then we go to the second ever Viking rules match. Eric and Ivar, the Viking Raiders, first chat game with Otis, the Alpha Academy. The only one we had was on SmackDown. I think it was late last year. It was like mid to late last year. I can't remember exactly when, but it was sometime last year where Viking Raiders did defeat New Day in that match. So basically, it's just basically a false count anywhere match just with Viking weapons. So Otis tosses Chad Gable over the top rope on the Viking Raiders on the longboat. And then once the bell rings, Ivar sends Otis crashing in the ring post. Eric takes out Gable on top of the longboat before Gable locks an ankle lock. But he lets go, and then he does a flip onto Ivar on the floor for a 2 count. Then he sends Eric crashing into one of the shields. Otis calls for the table. Gable gets it, but Eric blindsides him, and then Ivar takes Otis with a boot and then sandwiches between himself in the side of the longboat. The Raiders get Gable back in the ring, try to take him down, but Otis interferes, takes out Ivar as we go to commercial break. We come back from break. Eric hits a knee to the head of Gable in the middle of the ring. Ivar climbs to the top rope, hits a moonsault to Otis, goes for the cover. Gable comes off the top rope to break up the pin with a moonsault of his own, which was cool. Then he takes Ivar with a German suplex, goes for a pin of his own, but Eric breaks up the pin. So Eric and Gable go back for forms. Gable gains the upper hand, hits a kick to the midsection of Eric, looks to run the ropes, but Eric catches with a right hand. Gable responds with a suplex, climbs to the top rope, and delivers a diving headbutt. Goes for the cover. Valhalla breaks up the pin. Maxine Dupree comes in, takes her off the crossbody off the top rope, then gets her stolen Leatherman jacket. But Valhalla sends Dupree for the table with a spear in the corner. This allows Viking Raiders to attack Gable, sends him into the Shield 7 in the corner. And then Otis takes up both Viking Raiders, hit the powerbomb to Eric before hitting Ivan with the Caterpillar. He comes to the top rope, but Valhalla, I think it was a right hand or slap. It was one of the two. Anyway, then Viking Raiders hit Otis with a double powerbomb coming out of the corner for the victory at 10.5 minutes. I actually really enjoyed this one. I give this one 7 out of 10. Out of the two so far, I kind of like the New Day one a tiny bit better, but this one was pretty good as well. And you almost had to give this one to the Viking Raiders. It is their match. And then we go to our next match of the show. Shayna Baszler goes with Nikki Cross. Wasn't really much of a match. Cross raised her right hands, but basically knolls him and locks to the cure for a clutch for the super quick win at 19 seconds. Since it's under a minute, I can't rate this match, so an A. And people are talking about, so before I used to, but now the new rules, if any matches go under a minute, so basically 59 seconds and under, it gets no rating. Then after the match, we hear Ronda Rousey was in a skybox, and she's like, in the crowd goes mid, and asks Baszler the front door, working on the indies faster than the back door with MMA background. She said she took the opportunity in a fraction of the time to get where she is then calls Baszler a knockoff version of her. Shayna tells Ronda it's easy for her to say it from afar and says Rousey knows she's better in the ring than she is like everyone else does. She challenges Rousey to meet her in the ring, but Ronda refuses. And Baszler hops the barricade, make her upstairs, but security stops her and tells her she'll get her booked for SummerSlam and a challenge to a one-on-one match. And then we go to Miz TV as the Miz welcomes fans to the show and he's back. He's beat Tommaso Ciampa last week in the middle of the ring. He's the winner. He comes with the biggest star of all WWE before introducing the man Becky Lynch. She makes her down the ring. And Miz, it must be nice for Lynch next to a winner. Miz has Lynch, but a reason lost of money to bank to Stratus and Zoe Stark. So he asked her if he's lost step, and Becky comes irate. She throws chairs out of the ring to get to Miz's face. How she lost titles, but not a step. Then she let most other guys come out. She demands him to bring him out, and so he does. We see Trish Stratus, so he starts to make her way down the ring. So Becky demands a one-on-one rematch with Trish. Trish has settled down. She says Lynch acted like her daughter, and Becky tells her to keep her daughter's name out of her mouth. Then she asks why Lynch is obsessed with her. Just won't fight her again. She says herself and Starks are done with Becky, but before they do, she needs one thing, a thank you from Becky. Lynch says Strash wants to feel better than everyone and says Strash hit her when she knew she was at her weakest because she knew she never stood a chance when she was stronger. She says she comes more than Strash that tells her to prove as good in the ring one-on-one. So Trish agrees to fight, but under a few conditions. She has to face Zoe Starks once again and beat her, and then once get on her knees and thank her, and then tattoo thank you Trish across her chest. So Becky agrees to all the stipulations. So they try to attack her, but Lynch takes both of them out as Becky takes a face mask off Trish, hit punches her in the face, and then headbutt Starks with the mask to close that segment. I didn't really care about the segment, honestly. You knew the Trish and Becky match was happening again. But honestly, like, it's a stipulation. The tattoo, is that after she beats Zoe or she loses Trish? Like, I wish they were more a little clarifying that. And then we go to the semi-main event of this show. Shinsuke Nakamura goes on with Bronson Reed. We get a lockup start this matchup. Nakamura hits a knee, but Reed runs him over and stomps on his neck. Nakamura comes back with an elbow and a running knee to the kick Bronson's head. Looks for double knees to the back of his neck, but Reed ducks out of the way, hits a short tackle off the apron as he actually builds to the outside, so we get a commercial break. After the break, Nakamura hits series and kicks to the midsection of Reed, then falls over the Dragon's group, goes for a pinball. He got a 2 count. Nakamura locks at a sleep over Reed, escapes the planks with a running Death Valley driver, drags him over to the corner, comes to the top rope. Nakamura rocks him with an insecurity, knee to the midsection, lands a knee off the middle rope, tries to go for the king shots, but Reed catches him with a crossbody. And then Tommaso Ciampa gets in the ring and attacks Reed for the DQ win at 7.5 minutes. I give this one 6 out of 10. I didn't really like the DQ, but I kind of get why. So after the match, Nakamura kicks Ciampa in frustration. Then after the break, Byron started trying to run Nakamura, but Nakamura wanted him to stay out of his business as he started everybody getting in his business, which I can't blame him. And then we go to the main for the Undisputed Tag Team titles. Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, DeVase, Mr. Money, the Big Damian Priest, and Dominic Mysterio of Judgment Day. This originally was a non-title, but as I said earlier in the review, that Priest told him to put the titles on the line. So before the match even starts, Seth Rollins comes out north and takes out Balor as they brawl to the back. So the champs followed by attacking Judgment Day. Priest gets the upper hand and hits a right hand to Sami. But this after the bell rings, by the way. Then Tom throws face first and fire stomps in the corner, takes in Dominic Mysterio. Sami hits a right hand on Dominic's head, then takes Kevin Owens in. Owens hits a pair of sentons on Dominic, fires the stomps in the corner, followed by a corkscrew elbow out of the corner, takes Sami back in. Dominic shoves Zayn into the corner and takes in Priest, and he hits a right hand and takes Dominic back in. But Sami catches with a back body drop as Dominic rolls out of the ring to regroup. Zayn follows him out there and sends him in the announce table face first, sends him back in the ring, but Women's World Champ Rhea Ripley gets in his face, allowed Dominic to hit a baseball slide. Then Priest chokeslams him on the apron as we cut to a commercial break. When we come back to break, Priest fires the right hands on Sami in the middle of the ring. Priest sends him crashing in the corner, but Sami manages to get his way over to the corner and takes Owens in. Reigns have right hands and clothesline out of the ring and hits a senton on Priest. And it hits a frog splash off the apron to Dominic. Owens sends Priest back in the ring, sends him in ring post shoulder first and falls with a cannonball. Looks for a swanton bomb. Priest gets his knees up. Dominic takes it. The frog splash off the top of the Owens for a 2 count as Sami broke it up. So Dominic dumps Sami out of the ring for Owens catches with a pop-up powerbomb. Goes for the cover, but Priest broke it up. So Zayn and Priest tag in. Sami hits a chop, falls with a door to DDT. Goes for the pin, but Priest kicks out and Sami climbs the top, but Priest catches him with a right hand, knocks Owens off the apron, spinning kick to the head. executes a hurricane with a series of kicks, but Sammy catches with a big boo. Dominic makes the blind tag and drop kicks Sammy into the ropes, tries to go for the 619, but Sammy delivers a back body drop, sends a crash to the outside, looks go find to level him. Then gets back in the ring. Rhea gets in the referee's face, but Liv runs out and attacks her, and then sends her into the barricade and dumps her over to the timekeeper's area. Priest looks to double chokeslam the champs, but they escape, saying, Owens catches with a stunner, and saying hits the haluva kick to Dominic to retain the tag team titles at 15 minutes and 51 seconds. I really enjoyed this main event. I just won 7 out of 10. Overall, I really enjoyed this Raw actually this week more than the last couple weeks. Honestly, only matches I recommend is Gunther versus Riddle, the Undisputed Tag Team title match, the Viking Rules match, and Nakamura versus Reed. That's the only 4 I recommend checking out. So SummerSlam card made for August 5th. Cody Rhodes versus Brock Lesnar, Seth Rollins defends World title against Finn Balor, and Ronda Rousey versus Shayna Baszler. So that was Monday Night Raw. And then we will hop into the Tuesday, July 18th shows. So we will kick it off with New Japan's G1 Climax Day 3. So this is A and B block action. So opening match, A block, Kito Kiyomiya defeating Chase Owens 8 minutes and 28 seconds via Shining Wizard. And B block, Kenta defeating Great-O-Khan 11 minutes 40 seconds via roll-up. A block, strong openweight tag champ Gabriel Kidd defeating Hikuleo 3 minutes 21 seconds via power driver. Non-title B block action, KOPW 2023 champion Taiji defeating Tanga Loa 12 minutes 34 seconds via Taiji style Gale clutch. At A block, Ren Narita and Yota Tsuji go to a 20-minute time limit draw, so both men get a point each. In a champion versus champ B block match, United States champ Will Ospreay defeats IWGP Tag Champ Yoshihashi 13 minutes and 4 seconds via Leap of Fate. Non-title block A match, IWGP World Heavyweight Champion Sonata defeating Shota Umino 18 minutes and 48 seconds via deadfall. In the main event in B block, never openweight 6-man tag champ Kazuchika Okada defeating El Phantasmo 16 minutes and 20 seconds via Rainmaker. So the standings after night 3, and A block, IWGP World Champion Sonata and Kito Kiyomiya time first place with 4 points, 2 wins, 0 losses. Second place, strong openweight tag team champ Gabriel Kidd and Chase Owens have 2 points, 1 win, 1 loss. And Ren Narita also have 2 points, but he has 0 wins, 0 losses, and 2 draws. As time limit draws, you get a point. With pinfall submissions, counter score, you get automatically 2 points. Excuse me. And third place, Shota Umino, Yota Tsuji tie with 1 point, 0 wins, 1 loss, 1 draw. And in last place, Hikuleo has no points, no wins, 2 losses. B block, never openweight 6-man tag champ Kazuchika Okada and KOPW 22-3 champ Taiji have 4 points, 2 wins, 0 losses. Second place, IWGP Tag Team Champ Yoshihashi, United States Champion Will Ospreay, Kenta and Tanga Loa all have 2 points, 1 win, 1 loss. And in last place, El Phantasmo and Great-O-Khan tied with 0 points, no wins, 2 losses. So that was New Japan. And then we go to GCW, the face of the new war. This is the first of 3 shows where GCW is in Japan. So we kick it off with Fatal 6-way match. Grant Logan with Jimmy Lloyd, Katsuyori Teriyaki, Minoru Fujita, and Dragon Libre via base bomb 7 minutes and 10 seconds. Sasaki Masaoka defeating Shane Mercer via Sunset Bomb 9 minutes and 23 seconds. 6-man tag team action deathmatch. Let's Masala Cyclone Mio Extremo. Teams with John Wayne Murdoch defeating Soul Meat, that is the King of Freedom champion Tamahara, and one half of the King of Freedom tag champ Toru Segura. Team with Marvel Sasaki via Gaio Driver 8 minutes and 58 seconds. Tag team match Ultra Fallen champ Rina Yamashita. Team with Masa Slam defeating Sawyer Wreck and Carly Evans via Splash Mountains 12 minutes and 58 seconds. For the GCW World title, Blake Christian retains over Shahiro Iri via Curse Stomp 9 minutes and 12 seconds. And a non-title death match, Mahashi Takada defeat Extreme Champion Joey Janela reverse U-Crash 17 minutes and 40 seconds. So it's GCW. And then we'll go to NWA Power. So Kobe Korean defeat Alex Taylor 6 minutes and 23 seconds. For the TV title, Tom Latimer retains over Mario Perdua 4 minutes and 24 seconds. DC Countall defeat Magic Inc., Cody James, and Jake Dumas 6 minutes and 59 seconds. More tag team match with the Fixers, Jake Bradley and Wrecking Ball Likursky defeating the Spectaculars, Brady Pierce and Rush Freeman 5 minutes and 38 seconds. In the main for the women's TV title, Kinsey Page retains over Samantha Starr at 5 minutes. There's NWA. And then we go to NXT. So we kick it off with a recap of the NXT number 1 contenders match between Bron Breakker and Ilya Dragunov. as well as the main event of last week's show, tag match between Judgment Day and Trick Milligan. And speaking of Trick Milligan, they make their way down to the ring, and Trick Williams wastes no time, introduces Carmelo Hayes to the NXT universe. Carmelo says he wants to do the whole IAM thing, but he admits he missed last week. He says the match between Judgment Day and himself was 4-on-2 rather than 2-on-2. Then he addresses Ilya Dragunov's help in the match. So his music hits, he makes his way down to the ring. He explains, well, he didn't mean to interfere in his business. And the fact that Priest was about to cash in his Money in the Bank briefcase, he wanted to prevent him from taking the NXT title to the main roster. He says Carmelo let him down because he lost control, and Hayes doesn't take too kind in a statement. He says he had everything under control, and no one's more ready for the title match at Great American Bash than he is. Ilya says no one gives more than he does, and fans feel something when he competes in the ring. He says although he will make Carmelo feel a Great American Bash is defeat. Carmelo comes back, says he feels the way what his championship represents and the criticism he's received from the world. He says him and Ilya will have a fight, but no one's more qualified to face than Dragunov is. He says he plans on having a long NXT title reign and he'll be swimming in wins, and when else is done, he calls himself Mr. PLE and says he will hit different. Dragunov says Hayes will have to hit harder than ever before unless he wants everything he's built to fall apart. He says Hayes won't be to control him at Great American Bash, but Hayes promises he will. His from it'll be champagne. But for the other, it would be just pain. Really great opening segment to the second last go home show of before Great American Bash. But I really enjoyed this opening segment. I can't wait for the match of Bash, by the way. And then after the break, we head over to a video of Tony D'Angelo being released from jail and picked up by Stacks earlier in the day. Then our opening contest tag team match, and Heritage Cup champion Nathan Frazier teased with Dragon Lee to go against Los Lotharios, Angel Garza, and Humberto Carrillo. So Los blindsides Lee and Frazier on the floor. Carrillo dumps Frazier inside the ring, and the bell rings. Garza takes in Frazier, sends him in the ring post shoulder first, sunset flip in a single leg dropkick before he takes in Dragon Lee. Lee and Frazier hit a double arm drag. Garza sends crashing into the mat, then takes in Carrillo. Humberto tries to rip off the mask of Dragon Lee, but unsuccessful and hits a suplex, but Lee comes back with a hurricane, tags in Frazier. Ashley spills to the outside where Frazier looks to go flying, but to take out Los Lotharios, and then Valentin Flores loses to the umpire ringside. Frazier looks to go flying for a second time, but Lotharios catches as a crash in the lead as we go to break. After the break, Garza prevents Frazier from taking it to the Lee, but Frazier escapes his grasp and takes in Lee anyway. Hits a new DT that Garza rocks with a knee to the jaw, climbs to the top rope, but Garza trips and takes in Carrillo. Also, there hits a double grill press slam off the top rope for Carrillo, falls over the moonsault. Carrillo sits Lee on the top rope, but Lee hits a double stomp and Garza rocks him with a kick, but Frazier levels him. Carrillo takes out Frazier for Lee, hits him with a powerbomb, goes for the cover, but Carrillo kicks out, hits a clothesline, takes Garza back in, and Lucifer mocks Lee. That allows Frazier to send crashing out of the ring, hits a crossbody up the top rope. He sends Garza in the ring, and Lee hits Destino for the victory at 11 minutes and 29 seconds. Really, really enjoyed this match. I just went 7 out of 10. And then after the match, Angel Garza is chewing out Carrillo, so he gets mad and pushes him to the floor before leaving the crowd as Angel chases him. Then we see Baron Corbin walks in a force between me and one another. Baron Corbin says he will thrive NXT as himself from now on. Then we go to the Twitter account NXT Anonymous as Booker T is giving a prep talk to Roxanne Perez, tell her to step her A game up against Blair Davenport for their next encounter. And so we go back to ringside. Booker T was outraged by the video being posted with his permission, demanding stricter security. And then we go to our second match of the show. Kiana James goes with Gigi Dolan. So they go back forward before Kiana sends Gigi into the top turnbuckle face first. Rolls up Dolan, but Dolan kicks out too. So Dolan hits a hurricane, falls with a drop kick that sends Kiana to the outside, then hits a knee off the apron to the face. They get back in the ring. Kiana hits a body from the G, but Dolan hits a pair of right hands to the midsection of Kiana, falls with a few kicks and knees, hits a pump kick, looks for another kick, but James does a hair whip and goes for a purse. Dolan wrestles it away, looks to hit James with it, but the referee prevents him from doing so. So Dolan looks to grab it back, but Kiana takes advantage of it and hits the 401k for the win at 3 minutes and 43 seconds. Honestly, I could not get into this match at all. I just won 3 out of 10. And then after the break, we see Ivy now ripping down the dominant Mind Flake in the dojo. And we see Via of Scripps Axiom challenge Bronco Lima and Luke Cam Price to a match from last week where Axiom told Scripps next up challenges on his behalf since they're not a full-time tag team. And then we go backstage again. This time Mackenzie Mitchell with Eddie Thorpe. She asks him if he feels like victory in the NXT Underground match, and Thorpe says it does for metaphor. Roxanne apologizes for Noam Dar had to cancel Supernova sessions in his guest spot again. They hand him a picture of Dar as an apology gift, but Thorpe rips it up and lives leads to a verbal confrontation with him and Ora Mensa, which we'll get a match later in the show. Then our third match of the show, more tag matches. This time it is Bronco Nima and Lukian Price versus Axiom and Scripps. Bronco looks for a knee, but Axiom ducks it away, lets series of chops, but Nima whips him in the corner. Axiom planes him, hits a single leg drop kick, takes Scripps at AE, whereas Nima for takedown Axiom. He looks to double team with Axiom, but Axiom for doing so, and Scripps attacks from behind. Allows Nima to fire right hand. Price takes in, does the same thing before Nima whips him into the corner. Nima planes him with a running stomp to get the win at 2 minutes and 19 seconds. Good debut. I just want 4 out of 10. Then after the match, Scripps walks in the back with Nima and Price. And then it was time for the Tony D'Angelo homecoming as Stacks and members of the family are in the ring. Stacks says everything changed on May 25th, 2023 for the D'Angelo family because Tony D'Angelo was locked up. He said the police came up with some meaningless charges to introduce Tony D'Angelo, so he makes his way down the ring, hugs everybody in the ring. He shares the excitement being back and shouts out Stacks. He says he wouldn't be standing here if it wasn't for her and cries him for coming up with his genius plan. He says, well, Gallows thought Stacks was the rat. Things aren't really seem to throw us into a video of Stacks explaining his plan to Tony D'Angelo. So in the video, Stacks tells him the only way to get their NXT title match is to convince him that Stacks betrayed him. He's his faithful on and Clint make sure he hears the audio clip before we hear the music of the NXT tag champs Gallows and Joe Coffey. Joe Coffey tells D'Angelo he'll wish you back in a cell. He tells him he's more safe on there than the outside. Stacks promises the Gallows will lose the tag titles at Great American Bash and take what's theirs. Mark Coffey asks if they created plot of another scam, and Wolfgang says they won't even make it to the bash. Gallows gets in the ring to begin brawling with the Angel family before they hit Gallows with crowbars, and then they send Mark crashing for the table to close out that segment. And then we go backstage to Schism confronts NXT champion Carmel Hayes and Trick Williams before Ilya Dragunov confronts Joe Gacy and calls him inversatile before both teams brawl and the referee and producers split them up. And then we go to Thea Hill, goes on with Electro Lopez. Match over the lockup. Lopez sends Hill into the mat, falls with a pair of body slams and a series of shoulders in the midsection. Hill fires by suplexes and locks in the Kimura lock for the win at a minute 17. It wasn't bad for a minute 17. I just went 4 out of 10. Then after the match, Hale demands a rematch with Tiffany Stratton for the Women's Title Great American Bash. Calls her out to the ring. Tiffany Stratton appears, says Hale doesn't get to call the champ because it's rude. Then accepts her challenge where Hale demands her rematch to be a submission match. Stratton refuses grant her wish, so Thea locks in the Kimura lock anyway, and then Stratton accepts stipulation to let go to close out that segment, and that was made for a Great American Bash, which I'll double after this review. And then Dominic and Tony D'Angelo spoke backstage before D'Angelo wishes Dominic luck against Wesley for the title later in the night. Then we see Women's World Champion Rhea Ripley confronts Laura Fakaria to get her back at JC James. And then there was a video package showing that Gable will make a decision on his future next week. And then we go to Or Mensa goes one with Eddie Thorpe. So match starts with a lockup. Thorpe hits a crossbody for Mensa, fires a right hand alert for connected with a suplex of his own. Thorpe hits a series of chops and a kick to the midsection and falls up with the enziguri followed by German suplex. Action spills to the outside. Mensa hits a tope suicida. And Lash Legend dumps Noam Dar in the ring. The referee pushes him back out to her and Jerica Jackson. Thorpe dumps Mensa back in the ring for Dijak, lays him out with a big boot. Goes for the counter, but Thorpe gets back in at 9. Mensa takes advantage by hitting a spinning kick in the corner to score the victory. At 4 minutes and 41 seconds. This wasn't bad. I just want 5 out of 10. And we see a fin of Dana Brooke and George Gymnastics. Then backstage to the locker room, Cora Jade watches the video and swings a kendo stick in the locker. And then we go to a sit-down interview between Booker T and Vic Joseph, who's with Roxanne Perez player Davenport. Roxanne says she saw a video posted to the XE Anonymous Twitter page of Booker T giving her pep talk ahead of the match of Great American Bash, as Davenport said it wasn't her. Before she said she'll defeat Perez once again, but it's time for friends and family. She says the women's division is grown-ups and not little girls, and Perez says she doesn't belong. So Vic asks Perez what it take for her to defeat Davenport, and Perez says she's tired of everyone thinks she's an easy target. She has a rage that's been building her since she lost the women's title and shot the show aside, never being ordered to beat her. Davenport asks Perez how she fits big dreams in a small body and says she doesn't believe her. She says Perez doesn't believe what she said herself, and Perez begins to protest. She tells Perez to go home with her because she doesn't belong in NXT, and then she storms off. And then we go to our main event for the NXT North American title. The champion Wesley defends his Judgment Day's Dominic Mysterio. Match starts with a lockup, then they go back for submission holds before Wesley hits a draw kick. Then Dominic slides out of the ring and Lee Lewis go flying, but Rhea inserts between both men. So we go to commercial break. We come back from break. Dominic hits a three amigos, and then Lee falls with a draw kick and then hits a 619. Dominic with a Michinoku driver before coming to the top, looks for the frog splash, but Lee rolls out of the way and they trade forearms. Dominic sends Lee into the corner, charges him, but West gets his boots up and falls with a series of kicks, double stomp to the spine, and then a boot to the face. Then falls with a middle rope tornado DDT. Dominic rolls to the outside to catch his breath, and then Lee looks to the level, but Dominic rolls out of the way, grabs the North American toe, tries to lead with it, but Lee hits a tope suicide by the ramp, gets it back in the ring. He goes on top, hits a beautiful spiral tap before Finn Balor appears, distracts the referee. Priest looks blindside Lee from up, but he caught him with a cardiac kick. And then Rhea nails him with the women's world title, and Dominic puts his arm on to get the shocking win at 10.5 minutes. Honestly, I really enjoyed this match. I said before, honestly, Judgment Day's interference was starting to be like House of Torture from New Japan, but honestly, in this case, I could kind of let it slide. I get it's WWE, and they gotta be heels, but personally, for me, like sometimes their interference just gets a little too much. But in this case, I can let this pass. But honestly, I'm not the biggest Dominic fan, but I mean, he kind of deserved it. So, congratulations, Dominic, for winning his first singles title in WWE, but second title overall. But I really enjoyed this match. I just went 7 out of 10. Overall, NXT was actually really good this week. I just won 6 out of 10 over score. Honestly, I only 2 matches I could check it out. It's the opener and the main event. And then, so next week's NXT, only 2 matches made so far. 6-man tag team match. NXT Champion Carmelo Hayes, Trick Williams, and Ilya Dragunov go against the Schism, Joe Gacy, Jagger Reed, Rip Fowler. And then Kendo Stick match, Dana Brooke versus Cora Jade. And then Great American Bash card so far made for July 30th. I don't know if this match is still happening, but unless WWE decides to cancel it, I'm still going to talk about. North American title on the line now would be Dominic Mysterio defends Mustafa Ali. Carmelo Hayes defends Ilya Dragunov. The XC title. For the tag team titles, Gallus defends the D'Angelo family. Women's title on the line submission match, Tiffany Stratton versus Sia Hill, and Blair Davenport versus Roxanne Perez. I mean, that's fine. I don't know if they'll add 1 or 2 more at the most, but this actually looks like a good card, but that was NXT. Excuse me. Excuse me. Anyway, now we'll go to Wednesday, July 19th. We will start with the New Japan Pro Wrestling's G1 Climax Night 4. This is the Block C and D night. It's the opening match, non-title D Block match. Television champ Zack Sabre Jr. to beat Toru Yano 5 minutes and 37 seconds via roll-up. Non-title C Block match. Never Openweight champion Dave Finlay to beat Mikey Nichols 9 minutes and 52 seconds via Into Oblivion. And D Block, Jeff Cobb defeating strong Openweight tag champ Alex Coughlin via Tour of the Islands 9 minutes 51 seconds. Non-title C Block, Evil defeating strong Openweight champion Eddie Kingston 15 minutes and 15 seconds via Everything is Evil. D Block, never Openweight 6-man tag champ Hiroshi Tanahashi defeating Shane Hayes 12 minutes and 4 seconds via High Fly Flow. And C Block, Hinari defeating Shingo Takagi 19 minutes and 38 seconds via Streets of Rage. And D Block, Tsuyuno defeating IWGP tag champ Hiroki Go 17 minutes and 40 seconds via Destino. In the main event, and C Block, Tama Tonga to be never Openweight 6-man tag champ Tomohiro Ishii via Jay Driller. So standings in C Block, never Openweight champion David Finlay and Evil have 4 points, 2 wins, 0 losses. Second place, strong Openweight champion Eddie Kingston, Hinari, Mikey Nichols, Tama Tonga have 2 points, 1 win, 1 loss. And then last place, Shingo Takagi and number Openweight 6-man tag champ Tomohiro Ishii have no points, no wins, and 2 losses. And D Block, first place, television champ Zack Sabre Jr. and Jeff Cobb have 4 points, 2 wins, 0 losses. Second place, Shane Hayes, Tsuyuno, IWGP tag champ Hiroki Goto, and number Openweight 6-man tag champ Hiroshi Tanahashi have 2 points, 1 win, 1 loss. And in last place, strong Openweight tag champ Alex Coughlin and Toru Yano have 0 points, no wins, 2 losses. So it's New Japan. And then we go to GCW Planet Death. So we had Shane Mason defeating Shahir Ears via Moonsault and Barry, 9 minutes and 11 seconds. 6-man tag team match with GCW World Champion Blake Christian, Extreme Champion Joey Janela, and Greg K. Loco defeating Somi and Takashi Sagai via Springboard 50 Splash, 11 minutes and 34 seconds. 6-person tag team match with Ultra Fallen Champion Rita Yamashita, Sawyer Wreck, and Carly Evans defeating Yuka Yamamoto, Sasaki Masaoka, and Asami Kodaka via Splash Mountain, 13 minutes and 23 seconds. Mahashi Takada defeat Masha Slamovich via reverse U-Crash, 10 minutes and 59 seconds. 6-man tag team match with Masals and Jimmy Lloyd defeat Empire Ruler End Vitalo Jack, Takayuki Yuiki, and Toshiyuki Sakayura via Frog Splash, 12 minutes and 52 seconds. In the main event, Jun Kasai defeating John Wayne Murdoch via Stimulation, 12 minutes and 12 seconds. So that was GCW. And then we go to Stardom in Amore Night 1. So Ruka defeating Unimis and More via Freezer Bomb, 7 minutes and 39 seconds. Maika and Hanako defeating Saida and Momo Kongo of Stars, 7 minutes and 20 seconds. 8-1 tag team match, and we had Stars, IWGP One Champion Mayu Iwatani, Hazuki Kogwa Hiden, defeating Queen Quest, Sai Kamatani, Asumi Lacey, and Mayo Amasaki via 10.5 minutes. Non-title match, Gaza Star Champions, Rose Gold, Rame and Miya Shirakawa, defeating New Era's One Star Champion Mariah and Emi Story via Glorious Collection, Mina, 12 minutes and 54 seconds. Meltier for Suzuki and Mesa, and tag team match ends at a 15-minute time limit draw. And the main event non-title match, Oitai's New Blood Tag Champ, Starlight Kid, Mo Watanabe, Natsuhiko Tora, defeating our Star Champs, Bobby Bombers, Julia, Tekla, and Mei Sakura via Hideo Nashi Driver, 12 minutes and 14 seconds. So Stardom. And then we'll go to AW Dynamite from Boston. So we kick it off with, for the FTW title, Jack Perry defeating the champion Hook, 11 minutes and 40 seconds to win the title. Britt Baker defeating Kayla Sparks in minute 6. Finals of the AW World Tag Team Title No One Contenders Tournament. AW World Champion MJF and Adam Cole defeating Jericho, Prince Judge, Daniel Garcia, Sammy Guevara, 10 minutes and 44 seconds. In the main Blood and Gut match, the Golden Elite, Adam Page, Kenny Omega, Kota Ibushi, Matt Jackson, Nick Jackson defeating Blackpool Combat Club's Ring of Honor World Champion Claudio Castagnoli, John Moxley, Wheeler Yuta, Konosuke Takeshita, and Pac at 51 minutes and 15 seconds. That was AEW. And it will go to the Thursday, July 20th shows. So we'll kick it out with Pro Wrestling Noah's Sunny Voyage, night 19. So we kick it off with Daisuke Oshawa defeating Yo Awada by submission via Boston Crab, 6 minutes 37 seconds. 6 minutes tag to Amakusuka, Hadre Oren Judah Milwaukee defeat Yoshiri Ogawa, Super Crazy, and Kai Fujimura via modified guillotine drop, 12 minutes and 1 second. Ninja Mac defeating Stallion Rogers via Ninja Bomb, 9 minutes and 33 seconds. Tag team match with Lance Archer and Adam Brooks via Masakima and Yoshihiko Moore, the Tough, via Samoan Splash, 8 minutes and 41 seconds. 6-minute tag team Asaki, Go Shosaki, and Katsuhiko Nakajima. Team of High 69 defeat Naomoji Marufuji, Kano and Sushi Kochige via Suka Splash, 15 minutes and 45 seconds. Ito defeating Leona via Upside Down, 5 minutes and 55 seconds. 10-minute tag team match we had just good looking guys, GCW champ Jake Lee, Jack Morris, Anthony Green, Yohei Tagasuke, defeat Minobu Soy, Daiki Emba, Shuji Kondo, Ishiki Yoshioka, and Alejandro via dropkick, 16 minutes and 36 seconds. And the main event for the junior boy title, the Chiba Hayata defeat Asuki Oyage via headache, 20 minutes and 13 seconds. So that was Pro Wrestling Noah. And it will go to WWE's main event, Roderick Moss defeating Akira Tozawa, 5 minutes and 19 seconds, and Apollo Crews defeating JD McDonough, 7 minutes and 23 seconds. So it's WWE. And we go to Stardom in Amore Night 2. Tag team match, New Blood Tag Champ Starlight Kid Ruka of Oitai, defeating Suzuki and Hanako via Freezer Bomb, 7 minutes 24 seconds. Non-title match, God Star and Champions Rose Go, defeating Saida Mobile Congo of Stars via Tombstone Power Driver, 8 minutes and 37 seconds. Tag team match, the New Era defeating Mawata and Natsuhiko Toa of Oitai by disqualification, 11 minutes and 2 seconds. In a fatal 4 match, Koguma defeating Asumi, Mesa and R-Star and Jim Tekla via 120% Schoolboy, 6 minutes and 34 seconds. 6-1 tag team match with Donald D'Amatos, All-Star Champions Julia and Mei Sakura to Maika, defeating Queen Quest's Samakana Tani, Lady Sima Amasaki via Fire Dance Gun, 10 minutes and 13 seconds. And the main event 6-1 tag team match with Stars, IWGP Women's Champion Mayu Iwatani, Hazuki, and Hiden, defeating Cosmic Angels, World Star Champ Tam Nakao, Natsupoi, and Yuya Mizumori via Diamond Senton, 15 minutes and 59 seconds. So Stardom. And then we go to GCW Inframes Deathmatch Carnival Volume 2. This is the last show in Japan for GCW until October. So triple threat match we had Tetsuya Tagawa defeat Rika and Katie Orta, 9 minutes and 4 seconds. And tag match Gentara and Dragon Libre, defeating Empire Ruler and Tatsumi Fuki and Kaigo Monkame via Yoshitonic, 9 minutes and 32 seconds. More tag team action, Kengo and Mario Fujita, defeating Junior Heavyweight Champion Jun Masaoka and US Suzumu, 9 minutes and 43 seconds. ERE's Fanato Jack, Toshiyuki Sakura, and Takayuki Yuki, defeating Carly Evans, Sawyer Wreck, and Master Sandwich in a 6-person tag match, 9 minutes and 52 seconds. 6-man tag team match with GCW World Champion Blake Christian, John Wayne Murdoch, and Reggie Loco, defeating the Saki brothers and Takahiro Takori, Fierce Move 450 Splash, 9 minutes and 43 seconds. 6-man tag team match with Extreme Champion Joey Janela, Jimmy Lloyd, and Shane Mercer, defeating Jun Kasai, Masashi Takada, and Yusaki Ito via diving foot stomp, 10 minutes and 59 seconds. In the main event, 6-person tag team action, we had King of Freedom tag team champions Toru Segura and Tasaki Masaoka, and King of Freedom champion Tomahara, defeating Ultra Flying champion Rina Yamashita and Los Masados, 14 minutes and 49 seconds. So it's GCW. And then we go to Impact Wrestling. So before the Impact by Alan Angels being Chris Steve, 7 minutes and 43 seconds. Then the actual show, Rich Swann is Sami Callihan defeating the Good Hands, Jason Hodgins, John Skyler, 3 minutes and 57 seconds. Jake Something defeating Kevin Knight, 9 minutes and 21 seconds. Courtney Rush defeating Savannah Evans, 3 minutes and 54 seconds. 30 Dong defeating Cynthia Morel, 5 minutes and 58 seconds. In the main for the Impact World Tag Team titles, the champions Stone Culture, Flash Morgan Webster, and Mark Andrews, retaining over the former champions ABC, Ace Austin, Chris Bay, 11 minutes and 49 seconds. That was Impact Wrestling. And then we go to MLW Fusion. Only 2 matches on this show. We had Billy Starks defeating Becca, 8 minutes and 38 seconds. In the main event, the first of 2 semifinal matches of the 2023 Opal Cup. David Boy Smith Jr. defeating Calvin Tickman, 10 minutes and 29 seconds. The MLW Fusion. And this week to close out this week's show, will end up with Ring Bar episode 21. So in the Pure Rules match, Dino Garcia defeating Jason Gier, 7 minutes and 9 seconds. Utami High Shisa defeating Trisha Dora, 9 minutes 17 seconds. In the finals of the TV Title Number Contenders Tournament, Don Castle defeating Shane Taylor, 8 minutes and 34 seconds. In a Pure Rules match, Josh Bush defeating James Jones, 2 minutes and 36 seconds. In the Proven Ground match, a women's champion Athena defeating Nikita in 53 seconds. Tag team match, we had The Righteous Dutch and Vincent defeating the boys Brandon and Brent Tate, 2 minutes and 16 seconds. Later Hirsch defeating Nicole Matthews, 4 minutes and 3 seconds. In the main event, in a fatal four-way tag match, the Kingdom, Matt Taven, Mike Bennett defeating the Bollywood Boys Groove and Hiro Shira, the Work Horseman, Anthony Henry, Jay Drake, and Ashley Drake, Darius Martin. So they have their Death Before Dishonor show tonight, July 21st. I'll run down the card right quick. Originally we had 5, but they added 7 more last night during the show. So Claudio Castro defends Ring Warthog against Puck. Television title on the line, Samoa defends Don Castle. Katsuyori Shibata defends the Pure title Diego Garcia. Athena defends the women's title against Will Nightingale. Pentagon Junior Ray Face, the Lucha Bros defend the World Tag titles against Best Friends Trent by Chuck Taylor, the Kingdom, and Aussie Open. The Embassy, Brian Cage, Toiler, and Khan defend the 6-man tag titles against New Japan's 6 or 9, Ryusuke Taguchi, Master Welt, and Leon Ruffin. Gravity going against Commander. 6-man tag team fight without honor match. Dark Order, Evil Uno, Johnson, and Alex Ross versus The Righteous. Vince Dustin, Stu Grayson. And the 4 pre-show matches, or Cioro, so tag team match, Action Dragon, Darius Martin versus Work Horseman. Lila Hirsch versus Trisha Dora. AR Fox versus Shane Taylor. And Josh Bush versus Tracy Williams in a Pure Rules match. And that's the show for this week, guys. I'm your host, Ethan Black. Have a good weekend and stay safe.